Hi, I'm excited to talk about our upcoming and very first EcoPsych Inspirations program with Ann Carroll. And this is going to be on Wednesday, October 8th at 7:30 p.m. for 90 minutes. And this isn't quite enough for a video to tell you about it. And so normally I give you all the logistics of what we're going to talk about and the structure and the flow, but that doesn't really work with Ann. She is too spontaneous and adaptive to the moment. And so instead, I thought I'd give you some other information about Ann and why I love her so much and why she is the person that we are doing our first program with. And I knew starting 6 months ago when I thought about this programming that I wanted Ann to be the person. And part of that is symbolic. Ann, I don't know her age, she's somewhat timeless, but I would guess that she's in her 80s. And so in that way, she is an elder, and my kids love to remind me that I am not young anymore, but I am certainly younger than Ann and on that younger end of the continuum. And I want our EcoPsych Inspirations programming to have the mixing of generations and elder and youth and all ages. It's also because Ann is a woman and a passionate feminist and a wise woman, badass woman at that. And I want our EcoPsych Inspirations to have a blending of the masculine and feminine. It's also just because every time I talk with Ann, or anyone does, it's so inspiring and so fitting of EcoPsych Inspirations that I would want someone that I most trust to inspire our community to come together. But beyond that, I thought I'd tell you a little bit more about the story of how I came to know Ann and our relationship subsequent, which will hopefully inspire you to want to register and take the program with us, or if you can't attend, get the recording. And so it was over 10 years ago. I was part of an interspiritual organization here in Maine, and lots of people had an interest and a love of the outdoors, but none seemingly as much as I for the spiritual path. And these people kept telling me, oh, you need to meet Ann Carroll. And she lives a couple hours away. And so we finally had a statewide gathering and I got to meet Ann. And it was quickly evident why we'd been suggested to each other. And we just dropped in and time fell away and hours flew by. And so we have been dear friends ever since, and it's something I feel so honored and grateful for. She's not only a friend, she's an elder, she's a mentor, she's someone I go to when things are wonderful and when things are super hard. I've seen her lead programming on Jung and shadows. She wrote a book on Taoism and James Joyce. She is someone who is just so inspiring. And we've been lucky at EPI to have her part of our programming. In fact, I once had someone tell me, Dennis, I really just go to some of your programs in the hopes that Ann will be there. And so I get to listen to her. And normally I'd be offended, hopefully not, but I might be offended if someone said that about anyone but Ann, because I totally get it. And so she's been a number of our programs and always contributes so much. She's had her own teachings, but she, like me, as well as I'm sure like you, has had her own heartache and struggle and shadow and loss that has been very real and impacted her, and how she's shown up to it has been such an inspiration for me as I go through my shadows and struggles. And as we all, and as people and countries and a planet go through struggles, she seems very fitting. So anyway, I've known all along that I wanted her to be the first person that we met with. And so we've been trying for a while to figure out a time to get together and when would be the date. We finally figured, okay, October 8th, 7:30, let's talk about what the subject matter is. And I had what I thought would be like these fun titles of Staying Grounded as the World Falls Apart, or Living Life Cracked Open. And Ann's like, no, Dennis, you got to be more real. You got to be more honest than that. It's about grief. It's about pain and loss and being all cracked open. I was like, Ann, I'm not sure how that's going to go over. I don't know if it's going to motivate anyone to come. She's like, but it's true. It's real, and we got to do it. And so then over the course of the next 20 minutes, we started talking about it. And I got to feel Ann, because in the heart of that pain and being cracked open and grief and loss, there's something so beautiful and so transformative that Ann embodies and invites out in me and those she talks with, and speaks to what our world is desperately needing. So I got a taste of it. We also happened to talk about Joanna Macy's passing, who Ann knew, and Bill Plotkin and Jung, and we covered the whole gamut. So it's for reasons like this that I can't tell you what our upcoming program will exactly talk about. I know that Ann's going to share and talk, and I get to be a part of a conversation with her for a little bit. And then in typical fashion, she's going to invite all the rest of us in to be a part of the conversation, of the inquiry and the reflections, and to see where it goes. And so I feel very confident in saying that you won't regret it. If you are interested, please check out our webpage where you can register. If you have questions, to the extent I can answer them, I will be happy to do so. And I hope you'll be interested in this program. And if it's not this one, keep an eye out for subsequent ones. And as always, be well,